What the hell? What the hell's going on here? What is this? Oh. Somebody tweeted me supposed UI screenshots from the PS5. I don't think this is real. We'll see, but I don't think that's real. Hmm. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty cool. Got an invite for another game preview. Hey Chaz, what's up? Oh, I gotta turn the volume down. I was listening to something externally before I didn't have the headphone on. And I think when the stream starts, it would have kicked my butt. Fancy seeing me here. Yeah! I actually wasn't going to do this originally. I was just going to have like the Discord running or something, or I was just going to have it hosted. And a couple of listeners said they'd rather have me on the microphone giving reactions and stuff. So we're not hosting this on our channel because I'm actually running this through OBS off of their original stream, and then I'm putting it out to ours. So it should work pretty well. I did it the other day as a test. Man, oh man. Twitter is a buzz today. But I did promise punch and pie on Twitter. So here's some pumpkin pie. I even put some whipped cream on it. And this is Punch, but I'll just say it's Wisconsin Punch. Hey, Boss Hands, thanks much for the follow. These are really good. So a big thing in Wisconsin is a drink called the Old Fashioned. And there are old fashions in other states, and like I remember being at a Ruby Tuesday in Florida once, and they said they had an old fashioned. It was a frickin' Manhattan. But these guys, a few years ago, started bottling them pre-made, and this is the whiskey sour old fashioned. Because normally I would just make these myself with brandy. Usually I don't have whiskey very often. I usually use brandy, but I kind of consider this Wisconsin Punch. So the problem is I don't think anything's going to be left in this before the stream starts. Oh, for real, man, what's going on? I was just talking about you, I'd say 3 days ago, when I went to Santa Monica for that PS4 preview event thing, and you came and picked me up and took me to Roscoe's for the first time, which was heavenly. And then you and I sat up on, there was that really big patio thing that I had in my hotel room, and you and I went to the liquor store, and then we sat out there with Ramon from San Diego Studios and had a couple of drinks, some Crown Royal and some stuff. And I was talking about that the other day, how much fun that whole thing was, and that I finally got Roscoe's for the first time. Because now I'm totally hooked on that place. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Oh, that was a great night, man. Because I'd wanted to go to Roscoe's for so long, and you came and took me for the first time at the one in Englewood, I believe. Because I've been to the one in Anaheim too, which it was about the same. I know some people are like, Anaheim's worse and blah blah blah. I thought it was fine, but I've been to that one in Englewood a few times right by the airport there, and us riders were talking about probably about a month ago how one of my last E3s, might have been my last actually, we were going to return the rent-a-car early, and we were like we were gonna get some lunch or something, and it was the big group, so it was 6 of us total. I don't know if all of us were along. I think we were, but we usually when we go and return the car, because the car rental place is pretty close to LAX, and you just take a shuttle bus back. There's a Denny's right by the airport, right on kind of a main drag, and it's a really good little Denny's. But a couple of the riders had shown an interest about going to Roscoe's, so we all just decided to go to Roscoe's, and we go and we get there, and Josh turns into a 5-year-old child, and I didn't know this was going on, but he never ordered any food, nothing. He just sat there basically with his arms crossed, pouting. And I'm like, did you not get any food? Well, I don't want this food. He's all pissy. So we had to take him to the Denny's afterwards so he could eat, and so Emmer could have a second meal. No shit. And then we returned the vehicle, and we all went on our merry ways to our flights. But yeah, I miss Roscoe's big time, man. I talk about that place all the time. It was all because of you, buddy. It was all because of you. White Spy, it's all 5 o'clock somewhere. Dude, this is Wisconsin. You can have an old fashioned at 6 in the morning, especially if you're going golfing. But I can't golf anymore, so I'm gonna eat a piece of pie now. I'll leave a little bit of it for later on, but the problem is I can smell this, and it's really good. It's pumpkin pie, because I love pumpkin pie. That was a great weekend. Or like the time I was there, I don't know if it was I think it was weekdays, but they had set me up in that really fancy hotel, and it was just great because you came by and we did that. We went to the liquor store, and I think something else happened that was funny, but I don't remember. But then Ramon and I kept texting back and forth about stuff, and I'm like, come down to the room, dude. I got a bottle of Crown. And he finally came down and sat with us, and that was a good time. I think that was the first time that I'd ever seen MLB The Show on PS4 too. Who makes them? It's a very popular thing here in Wisconsin, White Spy. And the funny thing is, I didn't know that um, that like other entities had recipes for what they called an old fashioned. And I was down in Florida for training for my job years ago, and the guy that I worked with right here in town, actually, he and his wife came down because we were in Florida for like a week or whatever, and he brought his wife along. She was clueless, nice lady, but fucking clueless. Like every bar we went to down there, she would ask for an old fashioned. They're like, we don't know what you're talking about, lady. So across the street from our little hotel was a Ruby Tuesdays, and we went there for dinner or whatever one night. She did the same thing again, and the bartender's like, "Oh yeah, I have that in my recipe book." It was totally different, and it was literally it tasted like a Manhattan to me. um, and I laughed, and she's like, "Oh, this is an old fashioned." I'm like, "What do you expect? You're in the middle of Florida. What do you expect?" But these are Wisconsin is known as we drink the most brandy in the U.S. This state does. And normally the old fashions are made with brandy, but they are whiskey as well. So this one's made with whiskey. This isn't one of those malt beverages. These are really pre-mixed old fashions with whiskey. And you put cherries and like an orange slice in there, and you use the muddler and muddle it. And you sometimes you can have a sweeter, a sour, or what's called a press, which is more either like a mix or with just seltzer. But sweet, you usually use 7 Up, or you can use like a simple syrup, and sour is with what we call sour, which mainly is it's a soda pop around here called 50/50, which is a lemon lime, but a little more tart. These are really good though. Somebody is a lot of places that you go when you say sour, they have like a sour mix, and it's not carbonated at all. And it's not bad, but it's sour, you know. But in Wisconsin, a sour is basically 50/50 or the equivalent. It's a soda pop from Good Good Time, Jolly Good, something like that. I don't keep it in the house. So, punch and pie, PS5, punch and pie. Technical difficulties. Has something happened with my stream? Because if this cuts off and it goes to a guy holding his head in his hand, that is Twitch. It's not me. It's not me changing anything. I have nothing set up to change anything on the screen. That's a Twitch problem that's been happening for about 2 or 3 weeks now. Just so everybody knows. But I'm doing this because a listener asked me to do it this way, or else I would just watch. My whipped cream is melting a little bit. No. So yeah, I consider this punch in Wisconsin. Also, I didn't want to do regular punch because a lot of it has too much sugar. I'm not a sugar guy. Stream cut out for a second. Yeah, Twitch is having major problems. Twitch is having really major problems. They have been, I would say, for about 3 weeks now. Yeah, so that's a Twitch error. That's not me putting a picture up, nothing. That is a Twitch error that a lot of people are getting. I checked not only the speed that I'm getting for upload download, but I also checked my packet latency to Google's DNS servers. Everything on my network is looking good. So it's I guarantee you it's a Twitch problem. And it's not just me saying that. A lot of like full-time streamers are saying that Twitch is having issues. So I will check it again though. Google Wi-Fi is pretty great because they give you some tools built right in. Because if you use speedtest.net, your internet provider knows that the traffic is coming from speed test, and it will actually kind of flub it for you. And you don't get accurate results, but this tool so far has not been caught yet. So let me check my... I don't know if this will cut out or not, but I'm going to check my internet really quick. Pause RPG, how you doing? You feeling better? I'll wait until this is done to talk, just in case I'm cutting out. I shouldn't be, but... So I'm getting 213 meg down and 9. Good to hear. If I had money for gas, I would have came down and visited. But I have no money. Fun pics to show me. Oh boy. You think they're gross, but I probably have grosser. I'm going to leave one piece of pie for when the stream's happening. Pumpkin pie. Yeah, I saw you went back to work. You missed, Mika had invited me to a session that we just did last week for a game preview. It was really cool. Ha! Yeah, White Spy. It's Twitch. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't know if they suddenly got an influx of people from Mixer. I doubt, because that happened a while back. And plus, who was on Mixer? Nobody. But I don't know, like the last... I think it's about 3 weeks. Twitch has been having a lot of problems. But I'm getting 9 meg up, 50, I think 50 some down, so I've got plenty of bandwidth on my end. I ran a packet latency test when I was setting all this up about an hour ago, and my packet latency was fine. So I've done everything I can do on my end. Yes. They asked if I was going to write something, but I've been so damn busy I haven't had time to write it. But we're recording the podcast, I think, tonight, so I'm talking about it then. When does it start? In about 24 minutes. I was going to go live kind of pre-show at about 5 minutes ago, but I went live early because PlayStation went live. And I figured they were going to have a countdown, but they just have the symbols going across. I'll set my last piece of pie over here on top of the original PlayStation. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I've been excited for PS5 for a while. But a couple of days ago when the listener talked me into doing this, it started kind of whirling around in my head the night before last, and I got really excited about it. So, SOCOM 5 will never happen. I really highly doubt it'll happen, just because of some of the stuff I've heard. Legend of Eternal was really cool. We didn't get to play it, obviously. It was a hands-off demo, but that was really neat. I like the fact that they're not doing some kind of uh, super technical or super hard like a Super Meat Boy type game. That it's a not only is it it's a nice little side scroller, but there's a lot of time, a lot of passion in it. I love the overall look and style of it. It looks like a great game. So if I get time, I'll write something, but I'll talk about it on the podcast tonight for sure. But I agree. I think it'll resonate really well with people. It looks fun. Fun. Ugh, losing my voice. Sorry about that. Yeah, White Spy, I would just give up on SOCOM. Unfortunately, I just would, because I've talked to many people that would be involved with that process. And I know how far things got with getting something SOCOM related on PS4, and it was shot down. And I mean, it was what they were doing was playable. And then a manager turned around to the guy that was telling me, and he basically told him to shut the F up. So, but that was a while ago. That was probably 3 years ago. So don't expect a SOCOM. If it is, I'd be shocked. Because I text Scott Rohde. I text him all the time, and that's always in the conversation at some point when I'm going back and forth with him. Like, hey, what about SOCOM? And he clams right up. Relax Mode was really neat. The thing I like too, Anna, is that I asked specifically if there's any type of penalty for changing difficulties, and there was nothing. They said that there's no penalty, which is great. But it's neat that they kind of followed what Nintendo does with some of their first party stuff, where if you're having a lot of problems getting through a section, it'll kind of pop up a hint and say, basically, do you need help or whatever. Yeah. I like the pace of it. I like the look of it. I told Mika we can definitely do something early. We have the capability. She didn't know that. White Spy, totally agree about Ridge Racer. I miss Ridge Racer big time. I've been playing the first two on PlayStation a lot lately. Ridge Racer and Ridge Racer Revolution. I've been playing them a ton. So it's a shame that we never got anything Ridge Racer on PS4 at all. I mean, that used to be a given. New PlayStation console, we're going to get a new Ridge Racer. Nothing. Yeah, very frustrating. Forget SOCOM. Give us yeah. Man, I would love to see a new Ridge Racer. I like the one on the PS3. Ridge Racer, I think it's 5 on PS3 and 6 on Xbox 360, right? I mean, they're basically the same game, but I've been playing that one too on PS3 because I don't own it for 360. And then I've also been playing Ridge Racer 5 for PS2 and the PS3 because my PS2 died on me. The system works, but the drive tray won't open anymore. It actually locked up with the tray open. It won't close, and I can't push it closed. So I've been playing that on my backward compatible PS3. I was messing around with recording from the PS3, but I don't have any good footage. I don't think. Capture. It's all. That's Project Cars 3. Oh, that's the recording I just made by accident. Yeah, it might be in the Mac if I have it. I agree, though. I would love to see a SOCOM. Every now and then I try H-Hour, and I'm not feeling it. And I don't know if I'm not feeling it because it's not the PS Nation community playing together anymore in H-Hour. I mean, that was one of the biggest things is when we got the community together play all the SOCOMs, especially SOCOM Confrontation. I mean, we used to love that every week, play SOCOM Confrontation together. After it was finally patched up, it was a really fun game. You know, I miss that. So the one rumor I've heard so far, well, I've heard two rumors. One's ridiculous, but the one I've heard now is pricing, and what's bouncing around now is $4.99. So I think that's probably going to be that's the price I'll guess at for the one with the disk drive. Just hope the PS5 is powerful enough to sort the trophy list alphabetically. Yeah. Well, the problem with a lot of the database stuff on PS4 is that when the PS4 launched, it was still running the old store info and database info. And then they did the big upgrade on the back end, and that's when a lot of stuff stopped working. So like they had to take all the PS2 servers down, etc. And I think we're just dealing with legacy on PS4. So PS5, you would think they would be able to do all new stuff. SOCOM Saturdays were amazing. They were so good. I wish they could find a way to bring that stuff back up because I'd play again. Even though a lot of people didn't like SOCOM Confrontation for quite a while, I think it became something really viable and it was a lot of fun. And SOCOM Saturdays made it even more fun because we used to have a blast. And that's back when voice chat was... Well, crap, these are going down way too easily. So that's not good. By the end of this thing, I'm like... Argh! And I was going to shave before this. Because I shaved that big beard I had a while back. So I was going to shave this today. And I went to shave it, and the battery's dead in the clippers. And then Stuart started giving me shit before. About shaving and everything. I'm like, dude, I tried, and the clippers are dead, so they're in there charging. He's like, yeah, right. So, sorry I didn't shave. So there's got to be at least one big unknown that's going to happen today. I mean, we're going to get the pricing. I guarantee you that. We're going to learn if the second PS5 that doesn't have the optical drive is any different, is any less powerful. I'm hearing no, that it's the same the same architecture as the other PS5 that has the Blu-ray drive and everything. But I would assume they're going to drop a game on us that we haven't seen before. And that's where, you were going with SOCOM. I would really like to know. I mean, it's really awesome that we're getting Ratchet and Clank right away. And, man, that game looks fantastic, what they've shown so far. And I could say, what do you want to see? And we're going to see all the stuff listed that we've seen before. Don't remember if you ever played SOCOM with you. It was PS3 days. So for Confrontation. So I mean, we could go down the list. I don't think we'll see a new God of War yet. I know they're working on it, but I don't think we'll see God of War yet. Do we see a new Killzone? Because quite frankly, you would think that. I mean, all we got on the PS4 was Shadowfall, and that was the launch title. Do we see a new Killzone that's obviously not done by Guerrilla? They hired out somebody else. Do we see Jak and Daxter? Yeah, right. Do we see a new Resistance? Now that Sony owns the studio outright, they're working on Ratchet and Clank, yes, but they have two studios. So now, is the other one Resistance like we all want? Because a lot of people want Resistance. I would love to see 1 or 3. Forget about 2 in the MMO stuff. Just a flat-out action game. I would love to see that. Are we going to see MLB The Show running today on PS5? Or is it too early? Some of I think one of our writers was asking, like, are they going to show the new VR today? No. I really highly doubt that we'll see that. I think they want to establish a foothold with PS5 before they start showing the new VR. And they've already said the PSVR is going to work. The one that exists today is going to work with PS5. I think just in backward compatibility, but I have no idea. I don't know if they can do new PS5 games for that headset or not. I mean, technically, I think you could, but I don't know if they would. So what do you guys think? Don't make me to sit here and talk. Kind of wish they had music playing while this thing's going on. Oh, cool. I can point with the mouse and you guys can see it. Ooh. Now if somebody's on screen, I can go, look at that big butt. Look at that big butt. What do we got here? 11 minutes till we start. Woohoo. I don't think we're going to see a new Uncharted right away, Chaz. I really don't. Especially from Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog essentially said they're finished with Uncharted. So if we see an Uncharted, it's going to be probably Ben's studio, I would think, since they've already done one for the Vita. I don't think we'll see Uncharted right away. I might be wrong. I would love to see it, but I think I'm probably not wrong. Okay, it stream's working. Okay. A lot of rumors Final Fantasy 16 is going to get announced today. Okay, but if Final Fantasy 16 gets announced today, then we'll see it, what, in 5 years? I mean, aren't we supposed to get another episode of Final Fantasy 7 still? Remaster? Or remake or whatever they're calling it? Because that's not the full game, I don't think. Yeah, resub in 2 days, dude. I just had to resub myself with my personal account. Yeah, use that Amazon Prime, yo. I'm going to be out of a beverage before we get started. This isn't good. This is my second bottle of this. We'll love to see a Killzone game and find out what happened to Savchenko and Rico. Yeah, I've actually been. I restarted the campaign, but I didn't get very far into it one day because something happened that I had to go. But I want to get through that again because I haven't played the campaign since before the PS4 was out. Since that's the second game I reviewed. I would love to see another Killzone. I'm just really interested what studio that would have do it because obviously Guerrilla's busy with the New Horizon. But I completely agree. I would love to see another Killzone with all those cool effects because, quite frankly, the things that they were doing with Killzone Shadowfall, even with all the people bitching and moaning that it was doing dynamic resolution, which most games do nowadays, it was a beautiful game. They were using some great effects back then that weren't used on anything else, and it was some really cool stuff. If they show Final Fantasy 16, then it will come out on PS6, possibly, yeah. I think they will show more Demon Souls remastered. Even though Shu has a new position within the company, it's a big deal, and everybody knows it. He was the one that was usually pushing on that, but it's a big deal. Even though I don't give a shit about it, I still get it. It's a big deal. How about a new MotorStorm? Or even a MotorStorm remastered? Just remaster the first one. Actually, remaster Pacific Rim, because that's the best one. But my God, would I love to see a new MotorStorm that plays like the first one in Pacific Rim. Not as much Apocalypse. I'll play Apocalypse every now and then, and the funny thing is, on PlayStation Now, they only have Apocalypse. They don't have the first two games on there at all. I don't know. I have a feeling and I got rid of PlayStation Now, but I have a feeling it's because those two games were not available digitally on the store. They were only available physically. And I think that was kind of one of the things you had to have for it to work on PlayStation Now is that you had to have it digitally. So, yeah, I totally expect Even Souls Remastered. Honestly, I think that's probably going to be one of their crutches toward the beginning of launch. I totally agree. All right, 6 minutes. Just tweeting, sorry. Probably be some Spider. Oh, we're gonna definitely see Miles Morales Spider-Man in here. I guarantee it. Yeah, I guarantee you'll see that. We don't really even know what this whole thing is going to be, though. I assume they're going to show some more games. I assume they're going to show some games they haven't showed yet. I think they'll probably show new footage of Ratchet and Clank that we haven't seen before. I mean, we're kind of in the dark on what this is going to be. Obviously, I believe this is their response to what we've seen from Microsoft so far. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see UI. That'd be awesome. We'll see prices for sure. They'll also give us pre-order information. And I think that email, because a bunch of people got an email letting them register for the privilege of pre-ordering like I got, I think that will probably be tied in somehow as well. D. Gordon, it's going to be around Thanksgiving. I mean, do they come out the same day as the Xbox, whatever you're calling it? Or is it going to be early, later? Oh, God, Sean's here. Everybody run. Yeah, launch day is really up in the air, but I mean, every indication so far has been it's going to be Black Friday-ish. So I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried more about price. I'm worried about more games. I'm really interested if they get deeper into the PlayStation 4 backward compatibility. Is it going to be as easy as it was kind of as we were led to believe that you can? And again, they haven't said this, but I've been led to believe that you can unplug if you have an external hard drive on your PS4 that you have everything loaded on, that you'll be able to unplug from the PS4, plug it into the PS5, and all that stuff. Anything that's in the backward compatibility list is just going to work. And that's how you get stuff over to the new system. But again, it's all speculation. I would love it if it's that easy, though. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of little items that need to be clarified. And of course, everybody's in a panic because we have the information from Xbox, and all I've seen the last week on, stream comments on Twitter, on Facebook is, why isn't PlayStation saying anything? And I mean, there were a couple of good points. Why didn't they say anything on the PlayStation's anniversary a few days ago? For the North American launch, why wasn't there anything there? But I get it. But at the same time, it's a global company, and they're treating everything as a global company. So honestly, if something was going to happen on an anniversary, I personally think it would have been on the anniversary of the launch in Japan, because that was the first launch of the PlayStation. So, you think we'll see the launch lineup today? I think that's probably not fully going to happen. I think we'll see some stuff that'll be launched, but I think that information will come out pretty soon after. PlayStation never disappoints in the game section. Availability is the only worry. Well, it's funny because there's all these internet rumors that they don't have enough PS5s to sell, which is... Jesus Christ. I don't think that would happen. You say that you trust PlayStation for games, but don't forget the PS2's launch, which was It was good, but it wasn't great. So, you know, the precedent's been set. Let's see. Hey, Stefan, how's it going? Stefan. What the leak happened, which kind of forced Microsoft's... If that was a leak, I'd be shocked. There's no way that Microsoft was that ready to respond to that leak on Labor Day weekend. I'm sorry, it seemed really planned to me. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's... I just love how the Microsoft info comes out, however it comes out, and there's no response from PlayStation, so all of a sudden everybody starts freaking out. They're not going to have enough PlayStations. They're behind schedule. Oh, no. That's the thing. I think after they launched the PS4 and how they handled the launch of the PS4, that's going to be pretty much the recipe for how they're going to handle PS5, essentially, because it worked. They had enough consoles. They had enough games. They got the word out about everything. PS2 launch was amazing if you liked RPGs. I don't know, man. I mean, I was fine with the PS2 launch. That's the first console I ever ordered. I pre-ordered it through GameStop on their website and had it shipped. It was the first time I ever did that. And there was a memory card shortage at the beginning. Oh, all right, guys, here we go. Ooh, mature content. Why is there no audio? Oh, because I have it muted. I'm sorry.
Each time I awake, this planet seems somehow different.
Where are we?
You see things others can't.
Sense the power that flows through this land. Yet you do not fully understand.
Bug snacks.
But whatever comes, I will be ready.
Okay, let's do this.
No, I don't think pre-orders will start today, but I might be wrong. Wow, this is loud. There's your media remote. There's the two models. So we didn't see a third model like Xbox. Well, and I mean, Microsoft dumped all their ambassadors back in the 360 days, and that's just Microsoft's way to do things, I think. What is this, Last of Us? No. Capcom? What is this, guys?
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
How do we even know the girl will be among them?
Our kind do not question orders, we follow them.
Squeenix!
Let's summon their icon.
Icon? That thing's a bloody mountain.
Our foe will not relinquish their mother crystal easily. This will be a bitter fight.
You should not be out of doors. We have discussed this. Come, Joshua. Your father will be expecting us.
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him.
Oh yeah, this is definitely Final Fantasy now.
What do you mean you refuse? Did you not pledge your sword to our cause?
What does it matter?
G-double, they already talked about all that.
It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms.
When Mark Cerny gave his speech, they talked about expanding the hard drive with an NVMe SSD drive. I've talked about that a lot on the podcast, too. By the way, I'm back in the podcast.
So, the Sentinel Dragoons. Imperial Vipers. Do they really mean to invade us?
Yeah, Turo, I don't think this is FS7 Part 2. I think they're all right saying it's 16.
It's the Archduke's son.
Phoenix.
But this doesn't look anything like 7 to me.
Second icon of fire. But
Flame on!
that's impossible.
Yeah, Ituro, Twitch is having issues. They have been for like 3-4 days. Nothing on my end.
The legacy of the crystals. Has shaped our history.
Yeah.
Enough.
Pause, you're the Final Fantasy nerd, not me. You would know more of this stuff than I do. I just know it doesn't look like 7.
I'll kill you. If it's the last thing I do.
It can't be 16? Well, it is! Who's wrong? G-double, it's got a slot on it that allows, the PS5 does that allows an NVMe SSD drive to be installed, but it has to be a certified drive by PlayStation, so don't buy an NVMe drive yet until they get all that out. And then supposedly you're going to be able to play, if you have an external drive for your PS4, supposedly you're going to be able to plug that into the PS5 and it's supposed to work. And if you see me looking over here, it's because I have a full screen monitor running. PlayStation exclusive, wow.
It's too cold to change out here.
Here's Miles Morales. We knew we were going to see this.
Late for Mom's rally.
It's going to be interesting to see what the new platform allows them to do with this game. I really enjoyed the first one. Oh, shit.
Come on, we're gonna be late. Hey, dude, I am so filling your suit with snow. Are you
Yeah.
still wearing your suit?
Yeah, you know, just in case.
It's gonna be fine.
Wow.
See, this is my favorite
Puddles!
place in Harlem. Pop-up street
Remember
fair,
that whole
best food in the
hullabaloo
city.
about the PS4 game? So that's a lot of ray tracing if they're not doing screen space reflections. That's all ray tracing. So all the reflections in the water are real.
So what do you think about Rio Morales? You gonna vote for her?
It's still hard to think of Mom as a politician.
Oh.
She's been a teacher my whole life.
Similar skill sets, right? Corralling people, educating them, making sure they don't throw things at each other.
Roxanne.
Hi, I'm Brian Horton, Creative Director at Insomniac Games. We're excited to show you this first look at gameplay from Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Our story picks up 1 year after the events of the first game, and we find Miles' new home, Harlem, is in danger. Trouble brews while Miles' mom, Rio Morales, leads an election rally. A war between the devious energy corporation Roxxon and the Underground. A high-tech criminal army led by the Tinkerer starts to break out.
The
in this
Tinkerer?
sequence, captured on PlayStation 5 hardware,
Marvel has the
Underground
dumbest
attacks Roxxon, sending the rally into
villain
chaos
names.
in a fight that spills onto the Braithwaite Bridge, where the Underground tries to steal Roxxon's experimental energy source, Newform. Let's take a look.
Whoa! Let's not shoot each other, all right?
How do they even see? Oh.
We're after the new form. Ignore everything else.
It's a lady.
Get rid of him. Then grab as much as you can carry.
Is the audio good for everyone? Do I need to turn it up, turn it down, anything?
Keep him busy.
That bridge is coming down. I have to stop this.
Oh, yeah. Cool, thank you. Wow, what a great shot.
People are trapped over there. I have to push past these guys.
What?
Kill you. Don't let him shot you. Help! Help!
Oh, wow.
No.
My dog just woke up. Was he Shia LaBeouf? No, 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 no! Look at that.
Everybody get out! Don't worry, I got you!
Thank you.
Man! Those people! They're trapped! I've got an idea! I need something they can cross!
Look at that draw distance too. They don't have to mask it anymore.
I can stop this!
Which they didn't do a lot of on the PS4, but they did. Oh wow. Guys, you're not going to see a release date on any of these games if they're close to launch. Because they're not going to give us the release date of the system until the end of this video, I guarantee it. Yeah, holiday 2020. That's the best we're going to get right now until the end of the video. Wow, that looks really good. One thing I'm anxious about is, I think one thing we'll see on the new hardware is when you need to do a little, like a dash move or a, you know, get out of the way move, I think it'll be a lot more responsive this time. It wasn't bad on the PS4 game by any means, but I think any of that perceived lag is going to be gone, which would be nice. Oh, this is probably Gotham Knights. No? Harry Potter. Did we know about this yet? I don't think we did. A new Harry Potter movie? Or game?
Beautiful and powerful binds together our long history. That common bond we share is the legacy of Hogwarts. Now it is time to add your own story to these hallowed halls and quite possibly shape the future of the wizarding world.
Simmer down, G-Double. Simmer down.
Every portrait, every stone in this castle tells the story. Witches and wizards who came before.
Did anybody ever play that Harry Potter game for Kinect on the Xbox One? Did it ever come out?
Own magical abilities in the classrooms of the world's most talented professors.
Yeah, Chaz, I said Harry Potter like 3 minutes ago.
Brewing potions, taming fantastic,
Yeah, I think this is Rojas.
and mastering spells. There is a larger world beyond these walls. A world filled with dangers you can't yet imagine. An ancient knowledge long gone from this world.
They probably needed the new platforms with some of the effects they're using.
May be the key to unlocking this dormant power. Your potential is limitless. But what form will it take? The journey ahead will reveal what you stand for.
Next Gen Wonder Book.
The choices
You never know. The Europe people are in charge now, so
will define the legacy.
I don't think I've ever opened my Wonder Book. It's still wrapped. $2021 from Avalanche. Avalanche is doing a lot, man. Holy cow. I was just thinking today because, you know, with Xbox, especially lately on the videos, you always see Phil Spencer. He's always the one that shows up in the videos. Who does the U.S. have now? Now that Sean Layton's gone, who do they have?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Vondrak, creative director at Raven.
Oh.
One of our goals
I've
as
actually met him.
developers is to bring the game world to life unlike anything you've ever experienced, and the PlayStation 5 is making that happen. With the power of the new console, we've been able to significantly enhance the overall experience.
Cold War.
From what you see in the world, how it feels in your hands,
I'm excited for
to what
this.
you hear around you. In Black Ops Cold War, you will be transported to the year 1981, in the middle of one of the most dangerous times the world has ever known.
I was 9.
The height of the Cold War. The following is a portion of the first campaign mission where you've been given the name of a high-value target linked to the Iran hostage crisis. But in true Black Ops style, nothing is as it seems. Take a look.
So a guy in the town I lived in was one of the hostages for this, in this.
Kasim is out of the picture.
How long before we get Arash?
This game looks good. Marksman's been putting out some videos lately, and it looks good. It looks really solid. My big fear about score streaks seems to be not very valid. It looks like they've really balanced it well.
Airfield's just up ahead. Let's go find this shithead.
Priority is to ID Arash.
Now, the interesting thing about this game is that they're not using Infinity Ward's engine that they use for Modern Warfare. This is Treyarch's engine. So this could have some different effects. It could have some newer type things that they can do that the Modern Warfare engine can't do. So it makes it very interesting to me. Because I think Modern Warfare looks amazing.
Incoming truck.
Wow.
Left side.
Yeah, we're going to see ray tracing for days in this engine.
Rush might be in the truck. I can't make out his face yet. I don't want to know.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
Everyone in a truck. That's gotta be a rush. Hold fire. We need a positive ID. That's our man. Take him out.
Oh. Ventilated.
We missed him. Can't let him get away.
Why isn't there a case of beer in the back of that pickup truck? Come on, this isn't very realistic. Right in the back of the plane? Oh, wow. I'm gonna hate this part of the mission. The good old RC car. Holy shit. What is this, Fast and Furious? What was that, 6? Ooh. The lighting in this game that I've seen so far is outstanding. And it's all dynamic. So I was just watching that Miami map the other day for multiplayer. And
we hope you enjoyed that sneak peek at the campaign for Black Ops Cold
It's
War.
awesome.
There are many more twists and turns along the way as you begin to unravel the truth, and we can't
Oh, you
wait
have
for
that
you to play
CODRC
soon.
car? Nice.
In
I have
addition to
the
story
night vision
campaign,
goggles.
Cold War features the next generation of multiplayer online
Actually, where are
combat and an all-new awesome zombies experience.
Oh, they must
Today,
be back there.
I have the special honor to announce on behalf of my friends at Treyarch that the PlayStation community doesn't have to wait to play multiplayer. Starting this Friday, PlayStation players will be able to play the multiplayer alpha exclusively on PlayStation 4. And for those of you that are watching at home on your PS4, you can preload the experience starting tomorrow.
Oh.
We can't wait to see you online Friday and through the weekend.
I'm
Enjoy
in.
the rest of the show.
Holy crap. They've only allowed the alpha on PC so far. It was just for influencers and stuff. So that's really awesome. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. Guess I know what I'm playing this weekend. The alpha's really solid. There's a couple of little glitchy things that I've seen so far, but it's really, really neat looking. Now, I wonder if that game's going to come out on PS4 as well. Did they announce that, or is it just new platforms? I think it's coming out on both. Yeah, that was new. That was neat. I'm totally down for Cold War so far.
Come on, move! Chris? What the hell? Take him away.
Oh, this is that. Well, G-Double, get on with me if you get the alpha. Any of you, get on with me if you got the alpha. Torgo on PSN, just tell me who you are. Don't do a random friend request. Tell me who you are.
They're coming again.
This is the new Resident Evil, right? Yeah. This looked... I don't like these games, but this trailer looked really good when they first showed it. The first trailer for this.
Mia. Quit being so paranoid.
Time to dust off the scuff. F scuff. They pissed me off.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest
pornographic. Heavy rumors abound for a new SOCOM? No.
Is empty.
That's just internet speculation.
Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal
I will be shocked beyond belief if we see a new SOCOM.
Mother's worried cries
it could happen.
Fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest.
If SOCOM happens, it won't be one of the old games. It'll be a new game. Because there's a specific reason the old ones haven't come back to us via backward compatibility or remakes. So, I would love it.
It's just a local tale.
She's going to turn around. She's going to be a demon. So, pornographic, I've actually been talking to people for years at Sony. So, people don't think so, but every time I see them, and even when I'm texting with some, I bring it up. And
if it's just looking, window shop away.
In terms of the old stuff, I've been told it's not happening. Flat out. And they've given me the reasons. A few groups. I would love a new Resistance. I would love it. Oh, is this Bethesda's game? No.
You want out of a time loop?
Oh, maybe it is. I forget what it's called though.
Black Reef is a puzzle.
Oh no, this is Rebellion, I think.
Different piece.
I don't know now.
Here's Igor.
I am a respected scientist.
I've done so many loops. I've learned to run circles around.
I think this is the game from Bethesda, right? Yeah, this looks like it. I wasn't that thrilled with it. Is that not much yet? They've shown Miles Morales. It looked really good. Thanks for being on time. New Harry Potter RPG. Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
One by one, more than I can.
Black Ops Cold War.
But there is never enough time. I go after one.
Final Fantasy 16 PlayStation exclusive.
Right now, half an island away, a different visionary is throwing his nightly cannibal masquerade.
Yeah, SOCOM 2's not coming back.
Everybody shut up! This is my jam.
Igor's
yeah, Deathloop, that's right, Sean.
Yet somehow, he never
this game doesn't interest me at all.
Something keeps him home.
They're a great studio, but this game just doesn't look interesting to me.
Here's the invite to the party. And here's why Igor blew it off. He made some kind of scientific breakthrough that morning.
I did it! I did it, it works!
That he makes every morning. Unless I get there first.
This got delayed, I think it's called. Yeah. Yeah. I think Stuart knows some stuff about this game too. I think he knows some people at the studio.
No reason for Igor not to drink his disappointment with Alexis. Now I
don't know what it is. I like the style and everything, but this game just doesn't interest me personally.
In the same
not saying it's bad or anything. It's not my type of thing.
Hey, Wolf! It's time to hunt pig! Wolf! I'm talking about you, baby! Come on, swing!
Dog is snoring. Yeah. I don't like time manipulation in games. I just never have.
Targets on my list. Every one of them with grand plans for eternal life. To break the loop, I gotta break the rules. Clock's ticking.
And you just ran.
I mean, even like Capybara doing Super Time Force.
I'm not like
I love Capybara to death, but I did not like that game whatsoever. Except for the style, the visuals, and everything. It's on sale game. What? Wow! PlayStation console exclusive. That's interesting. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it is still interesting. Huh. Oh, is this that crazy weird
that day
guy in the spacesuit?
Were switched. Would our fates be different?
Or is this the one with the walking plants?
Would I have your life and you mine? You a demon?
Oh, Devil May Cry 5. All right. I finished DMC and I mean I can play him, but this isn't my favorite. This looks good though, like visually appealing, etc. I don't think I'd go out of my way to play this though.
This is power.
Rest in peace.
I almost killed the stream. Oops. DMC had a lot going for it. It's not my primary type of game, but you know, I do play games like that. Was it Metal Gear Revengeance or whatever? I finished that game.
Devil May Cry.
It's got a lot of promise. Digitally at launch. Interesting. Are more publishers going to start only doing stuff digitally, I wonder? Only 9 minutes left. It said 40 minutes? Where did that happen, Chaz? I didn't see that anywhere. Oh, I've seen this. Oh, is this Oddworld? Yeah, Soulstorm.
Did those fugitive morons burn down their own hideout?
It sounds idiotic, but that's exactly what it looks like.
Bad karma for burning down my farm.
Hi, I'm Lorne Lanning, creative director of Oddworld Soulstorm, and we're excited to bring you an all-new exclusive trailer from the game. Here, our unlikely hero, Abe, finds himself fresh off the back of freeing his people from the nefarious Rupture Farms. He thinks the journey is over, but soon discovers it has only just begun. The stakes are higher, the threats are larger, the obstacles are more devious, and it's all made possible by the power of PlayStation 5.
Way to sell it, Lauren! Oh, it said that in the blog, Sean? Okay. What? That was only 40 minutes? I didn't see that anywhere. There's a lot of stuff in this game that looks really good. I just don't know if I'll play it, honestly. I'll try it. But...
We are not letting that ape guy get away from us again.
Right. Even if he was still with PS Nation, he wouldn't be here today.
I could go for a sandwich right now. Well, we gotta get out of here. Come on, let's get out of here. My tummy's growling. I'm hungry.
We could always count on that if it was something like this that had to do with the community externally. Unless it was a live show, he wouldn't be here. He has kids. Alright, we're going to get to the animation that shows us finally, after 2 minutes of waiting, the price and the release date. No?
Your friends are worried about you. They're here with me. Please, come out. Gregory, I may have lost my temper earlier, but it was just a glitch.
What is this?
It won't happen again.
This kind of looks like Control, but I don't think it is.
It's been such a difficult day for all of us. Why don't you come out and we can play a game together?
Oh, is this Borderlands? Because they already said it's coming to the new consoles. Oh, what the hell is that?
It was just a glitch.
This looks familiar. I just can't think of what it is.
Be still.
Only if there's free swag, yeah.
I think she's found us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of those assets look familiar. I just couldn't think of what the hell it is. I mean, there's been some neat stuff, but there's nothing here that rocked my socks off yet. Honestly. You know. Okay, PlayStation Studios.
Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. Soul of the lost
Demon Souls?
withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be
I liked a lot of things about Control except for the gameplay mechanics. It turned me off completely. I stopped playing it. After like an hour, I was done. This must be Demon Souls. Yeah. This game's going to be huge. I mean, it's going to be huge. I love watching people play this, but I hate playing it. Yeah, White Spy, Demon Souls. Why is the cop following the school bus? Reflections. Well, I mean, the combination of HDR lighting that we're getting now, included with ray tracing that's available, you're going to see a lot of cool stuff on both consoles. Because on the current consoles, HDR in many ways results in only a wider color palette. A little bit of lighting stuff, but really focused, it seemed like, on the color palettes. I think we're going to see a lot more really bright zones from the HDR lighting now. Oh, sure. I had a boss battle in Control, and it was really stupid to me, and I stopped playing the game. I have not touched it since. I want to go back, but I was not happy about it. Because you just get that telekinetic power to throw things at people, and like the boss you go against, that's the one thing that he can block against. It just didn't make any sense to me. Oh, wow. Look at that. Cut his nipple off. Look at those big nipples. Wow. I'll watch people play this all the time, but I will not play it. I refuse. Wow, look at this lighting. Blue Planer knocking out of the park so far.
I shall await thy return, Slayer of Demons.
It's gonna be big. That is gonna be a big, big game. Price, date? Is that how they're gonna end it? I would assume. Oh. Fortnite. Who gives a shit about Fortnite? The kids already have their cell phones to play this game on. We should not care. Itero, I played Bloodborne for the last Extra Life that I did. Or no, 2 Extra Lives ago. That was enough. It's going to cost you guys heavy for me to play Demon Souls on PS5 for Extra Life. Especially if I don't have a PS5 yet because I don't have a job. Yeah, Sean, I agree. I don't remember ever seeing that on the blog, by the way.
Can you kill something that big?
Oh, here we go. PS4 backward compatibility. Duh, God of War is gonna work. No shit. Final Fantasy 15. Fallout 4. What kind of? Yeah, I figured that. I figured Uncharted. Yeah. Still haven't played this game. Now I'll wait till PS5. Till dawn. Another game I haven't played. I own it.
My name is Kara.
My name is
I finished that over at Paw's place for actually a couple years ago. Who cares about BF1? Stop! Stop pushing that, EA. God damn it. Nobody cares about Battlefield 1. It sucked. Arkham Knight, great game. I need to finish this.
After all we've been through.
Figured that. Oh! I just got an email from Sony.
It's time.
Bloodborne. Really? BF1 and not BF5? Really? F you, EA. Oh, wow. So you're getting all those games for free? So you don't even need to own them? Holy crap. I mean, yeah, they're not PS5 games, but there's some good games in that selection. All right, that's pretty badass. What about anime RPGs? God, I hate you. How does your wife stay with you? Now all the emails start coming in. So a bunch of PS4 games, some very good PS4 games, free on PS5 at launch. That's pretty badass. But at the same time, you know what that tells me? They're going to be light on launch games for PS5. No, I don't think the PS Plus price will change. If anything, it would go lower at some point. There we go, $4.99, $3.99. Yep. So the rumor was correct that I heard. Well, there we go, November 12th. Jeez, a little bit less than a month. There you go, folks.
So now you know. Thank you all for joining us today and for being part of this amazing journey.
Who wants to buy me a PS5?
As fans of gaming that drives us to deliver a
I
truly
can't
new
afford
generation of experiences on PS5. From everyone at PlayStation, we appreciate your continued support, and we look forward to you getting your hands on PS5 very soon. To close, let me leave you with one more
thing. Here we go. New game, I would assume. Might be an existing IP, but new game.
The time draws near.
God of War. No shit. Oh, near? No, I think this is God of War. Oh, night now.
You must prepare yourself.
Is this a new God of War? Oh, Schmidt. Wow. Well, God of War PS5 2021. Holy crap. That was unsuspected. And Emo Jesus, you want to make fun of Knack, but Knack 2 is really good. I highly suggest you play it if you haven't. Oh, that's definitely God of War. New camera. They just showed the camera. Yeah, wall running.
Fearless.
This game's gonna be amazing. The new Ratchet. That Princess PS5, I wouldn't expect that, dude. That Princess Adventures did not do very well, unfortunately. Sony didn't market it whatsoever. They really dropped the ball with that game. Yeah, that's exciting stuff. November 12th in most of the world. The bigger markets, November 12th. I need to get a job. God damn it. Can't I just have a job? All right, guys, there you go. There you have it. Yeah, they really didn't touch on backward compatibility too much, unfortunately. So I will start hounding the people at Sony about that. All I know is speculation and rumor right now. Some say you'll be able to play, like if you have an external drive on your PS4, that you'll be able to plug it in and just go, and the games that are on the BC list will work. Others say that you will be able to download the stuff digitally to the PS5, and if you have a PS4 disc, you'll be able to plug it in, but again, it has to be on the backward compatibility list. Fat Princess Remastered would be amazing. Don't put any thought to that. It won't happen. Fat Princess is pretty much dead for right now. Yeah, so personally, I mean, I liked some of the stuff I saw. I was kind of expecting a little bit more flash for some of the games they show, but there was some cool stuff. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, so I mean, it's a big deal. They got the console exclusivity, and you know, Final Fantasy's been a PlayStation thing since the first console. So disappointed that the digital is $400. I expected that. It's the PS3 again, so I'm fine with it. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a little more explanation of a few things. So I hope maybe they do something pretty soon, especially when launch is in less than a month. You know, November 12th is, or no, I'm sorry, not less than a month, not less than 2 months. It's September, dipshit, Glenn. Jeez. I mean, what do y'all think? What do you think you saw? Were you disappointed? I don't need the snarky comments like, "Oh man, they're finally showing gameplay." We've seen gameplay for PS5 for a while. But what'd y'all think? There were some nice surprises there. I think everything was... Personally, I think it was all solid. I thought it was very, very solid. Nothing really blew my socks off, though. Nothing really hit me except for that God of War at the end. I'm shocked that they're doing a new one so soon. Honestly. You thought this was going to be a live event? No, they don't. I don't really think they're going to be doing any more live events. I think it's all going to be pre-recorded. Even that Mark Cerny thing was pre-recorded, I believe. Because then they can keep it tighter. They can edit things. They can keep it tighter, and they keep your attention. Is the first year of release the launch window? No, the launch window would be basically a 3-month period. Just wish they will tell us when we can pre-order. Well, they just announced the price, so I would assume we're going to see pre-order information on Target, Best Buy, Amazon, GameStop, blah, 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 very, very soon. I would assume that. So they don't... The only pre-orders that Sony would control are if you're pre-ordering it directly from Sony. Anything else is controlled by the retailers. So, just remember that. Spider-Man did look really cool. So, I'm fine with the price. Hey, it's $100 cheaper than the 60 gig PS3 when I bought it. So, no, it was solid. I think that was really solid. I think we're doing the podcast tonight too, which I really don't want to do now. I want to wait until tomorrow, but we'll see what Ray wants to do. Yeah. There is no rule for launch window, quote unquote. I would think the rule of thumb is 3 months. I think. Like to see more specs, SSD expansion, because SSD expansion has been released. It's been revealed. It's NVMe specific. You have to get one that's certified by Sony. It's just an NVMe. It's basically a PCI card. And it's got a slot in it, and you take the cover off, you put it in the NVMe slot, and it works. If it's not compatible, it's going to tell you it's not compatible. Any news of PSVR compatibility with PS5? Yeah, they've already said that. The current PSVR will work on PS5, but what everybody thinks is it's just going to be for the PS4 backward compatibility. If they do VR for PS5 specific games, that's up in the air still. They announced that weeks ago, dude. And we talked about it on the podcast. Just saying. And if y'all don't know, I'm back on the podcast. It's myself and Ray, who's been our longtime writer. Dave and MJC quit a while back, and Josh left before that. So I'm back on the podcast. It's every 2 weeks or so. So we're going to record a new one tonight or soon. What will be available on SSD? Well, Reefer, that's up to manufacturers. Unlike Microsoft that's holding you to their SSD expansion, it's going to be totally up to like a Seagate or Western Digital what they offer. And then Sony wants to certify those drives to make sure they meet the minimum requirements. So that list will have to come out. It'll probably come out pretty soon, I would think, because there's people like me that want to expand the drive right away at launch. But you never know. But they've already said that stuff. When Mark Cerny gave his talk, they talked about that. That's okay, Double. You'll catch up. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing some of these comments, and quite frankly, a lot of that stuff's been answered. A lot more of the stuff kind of tells you that Sony probably should have given us a little more info on a few things. But the SSD is not one of them, I don't think. I think they've told us plenty for the SSD expansion already. I think they really need to get more focused on the PS4 backward compatibility and what it's going to be all about. Is it going to be every PS4 game? Is it going to be a list like on Xbox One to bring the old systems up? What's going to be available? Is it just PS4? Are they going to do PS3 and PS2 and PS1? Because now I'm hearing no. Launching on 11. Yeah. Yeah. Miles Morales is coming on PS4. I knew that. I thought they'd already announced it a week ago. Huh. And I can't have Twitter open right now because if I have Chrome open, it slows the stream down and everything. So yeah, we still need some more information from Sony on a few things, what the UI looks like, when they're going to release a list of certified SSD drives. Backward compatibility is a big question still. How is PlayStation VR going to work? Is it, if I plug the existing unit into the PS5, is it only going to work with PS4 games? Is it also going to work on PS5 games just at lower quality, whatever? Are they going to do a PS5 headset, which I've heard yes. I think they announced that. When's that coming, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of things that we need to know still. But I think we got some pretty solid stuff here today. Mind blown on God of War. The other stuff was cool. It didn't really blow my socks off, but it was very cool. It was nice to see a lot of gameplay and not some talking head in the background blabbing away for half an hour, except for me. But you guys asked me to do this. Price is released. We got the release dates, November 12th for most of the world. And I would, if you're all in a tizzy about pre-order, I'd say keep your eyes open on like Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, GameStop, the normal, the regular suspects. If we still have some affiliate programs, so if we find any links, we'll throw them up on Twitter and on the website. If you want to help us out by pre-ordering with our affiliate link, that'd be cool. I wish we still had Amazon. I'm trying to reapply with Amazon right now, but I'm not very hopeful. So, was EA represented? Well, yeah, we're getting Battlefield 1 from those assholes. That really stinks, in my opinion. BF1's not that great. Heavenly Sword 2 would have been cool. Well, yeah, I mean, they own the IP, but they don't have Ninja Theory to do it, so this is a very exciting time. I agree, Double. Very exciting time. I think there's some cool stuff they're talking about for Xbox Series as well, but I don't see myself buying a Series X or S or anything anytime soon. I think they made a big mistake showing Halo in its current form. I thought that looked terrible compared to what I've seen for this new generation coming up, especially when they were going up on that big elevator and all of a sudden you see all this fog just pop in the background. I mean, they should have known that. Somebody should have watched that demo ahead of time and said, whoa, 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 we can't have that on this stream. So, yeah, it was at Revy. Microsoft bought Ninja Theory a few months ago. But Heavenly Sword, G-Double, is a Sony IP. It's not a Ninja Theory IP as far as I know. So Sony could definitely have it done. They just would have to have a different studio do it. That's as far as I know. But all right, well, I guess I'm going to end this. I'm going to talk to Ray if we're going to record today or tomorrow. I've had some beverages, though, so I don't know if I want to record today. So there we go. Dates, prices, we're all good. Keep your eyes open for pre-orders. If we find any affiliate links, we'll definitely post those so you guys can help us out. And I'm sure I'll be talking about this in the podcast as well. Well, I don't have to pay extra for PS Plus because I still have 5 or 6 more years stacked on mine because I'm an idiot. So, but that's cool that they're releasing some games for free at launch with PS Plus, even though they're all PS4 games. It's fine. Except I think I own all those games. But all right, I'm going to get out of here unless anybody else has any questions. Going once. Going twice. Going thrice.